So I've done both. I've owned a condo and I've owned an RV. I have the personal experience that I want to share with you, the difference that you may go through. I was at an RV dealership the other week and I asked the salesman, "Do you own an RV?" And he said, "No, but I drive them." Big difference if you don't have the personal experience. Same thing if you were dealing with a real estate agent and they were selling you a condo, but they never owned one. But either way, in life, you have to do your research. And after your research helps you to mitigate risk or understand your risk. And hopefully, through wisdom, you mitigate your risk. And then you just have to experience life to see what works and what doesn't. No substitute for experience, but research helps. Living below your means helps because this mitigates your risk. Living good, great to see you. Thank you coming in and leaving a comment. Backwoods, thank you for being a member, longtime supporter. Shout out to you in the Pacific Northwest. Thank you both for joining the live chat. So, what I want to share with you is at the beginning of the conversation, a condo or RV, they're two different lifestyles. An RV, you're going to live out of it. You're going to be outside more. An RV is a transportation hub, even if it has everything a house has, a shower, bathroom. It's basically to get you to go out and to go to the parks, to go to the campgrounds, to travel from point A to point B, experience an adventure. You're going to live out of your RV. A condo is the opposite. You're going to live in your condo. You're going to create a safe haven from the public. See, the fun part about adventure and RVing is you're mobile and you're outdoors more, which is good. The only negative, everything has a pro and a con. The negative is you're in the public more. You're dealing with people more, you're dealing with traffic, and you have no safe haven. And the condo is a safe haven, which is good. But, the negative, everything has a pro and a con. The negative to that is if you're single or if you don't have a family, that could make you lonely. And, there's something to be said to being pushed to be outdoors. But I will say this, owning a condo, my experience, if you find the right community that has a park or walking paths and you can get outside within your community, that's a blessing. And that's why you pay an HOA fee for the amenities, for the pool, for the park, if it has a park, walking paths, a gym within the community, tennis courts, racket courts. The HOA fee is not a wasted fee. Okay. It allows you to have all these amenities that you probably couldn't have if you had a single family home. You wouldn't have if you had an RV. And it's all these things within your enclosed community. Now, an RV gets you outside your community. An RV, the public is your community. Good to see everyone in the live chat. I want to read these comments. Click the thumbs up. Let me read them for a minute. I want to stay with you. Charlie, great to see you. Thank you for being positive. / the greatest apparel designer. I never want you to lose your creativity. I always want you to structure it. And all my creative people, remember, self-care is the engine to creativity. Remember, if you lost your creativity, like the movie, The Notebook, where a woman lost her creativity, it means you're in the wrong relationship and you're not working on yourself. But remember, if you have great creativity, but you don't structure it, you don't put a plan, and you don't discipline yourself, you're going to be a starving artist. Because I don't care if you sell jewelry that no one wants to buy in a $100,000 RV. If you don't structure your finances, you will be in a parking lot with no money, and your biggest asset is your RV, which is a mistake. I was looking to buy an RV before I bought one. I've owned a couple now. I was looking to buy an RV, and someone said, Sam, before I bought a home base, and someone said, Sam, the only problem with that is then your greatest asset is you're driving it. See, in the long run, an RV, a vehicle, whether travel trailer or motorhome, it's going to go down in value overall. The pandemic, of course, everything went up for a period of time. That's now normalizing. And the condo or a house, the opposite. You know, long term, not short term, long term, on average, the condo or house is going to go up. Both have to be below your means. Both have to be below your means because you could be house poor or RV poor. But overall, if you had to choose financially, because that's another part of the conversation, the financial part, it's part of every conversation. If you had to choose between two assets, one that goes down in value and one that goes up, which would you choose? Of course, if it was just a question like that, I want to choose the one that goes up. So why wouldn't you choose that? Well, for many people, buying a vehicle is easier than buying a house. A bank would tend to give someone with lower income, higher debt, a car loan than a house loan. And you put less down on a car. It's easier to get into an RV than it is a condo. And sometimes that attracts me. I mean, I like easy and simple. Short term, it's easy. Long term, it hurts. It could. But I think part of it, and I want to go back to these comments, click the thumbs up. You appreciate these videos. Thank you to my members, Geo, Backwoods, and Adam. I want to share with you, and excuse the rain, it was beautiful today. I saw bikinis today. If you live in Canada, if you live in New Jersey, if you live in Los Angeles, you saw smoke from the wildfires from Canada. And it's the summer. Everyone said, why would you want to stay in Florida? Well, why would you want to go breathe smog? See, guys, what I want to tell you in life, it was hot, sunny, and beautiful today. I saw bikinis. It's a little rainstorm now because I'm in a tropical environment in South Florida. But I want to be here 90% of the year. That's why I bought a home base before I bought the RV. The RV came with the home base. I'm changing some things up there. And sometimes I ask myself, Sam, maybe you're just better off buying a condo here, just traveling out of your car in the fall. The only issue with that is, like I said, I wanted to be on the beach, so a beach condo is more money than an RV lot, but we're looking at things. But I want to tell you, I don't want to curse people because I want to be under self-control and I want to show love and empathy. But I want to come against everyone who says, don't come to Florida because of sharks, hurricanes, and bugs. They breathe smog. They have cold, cloudy weather until July when all the kids are out of school. Everyone's packed at the Jersey Shore. They're all out of shape, and they're all fighting for funnel cakes. And they all come bitching and moaning to me. I never pay state income tax. 90% of the year, it's sunny, beautiful, and every day is bikinis, flip-flops, no winter coats. And if climate change is real, if it ain't, guys, I want to tell you this. It may end up shitty up north and beautiful down south. No one knows how climate change will come out, guys. But you waste your time, you waste your life when you don't want to do something because there's some negative in it. Now, sometimes people use that as a sales pitch for RVing. They say, no, don't wait too long to buy the van or buy the car. And if it's below your means, I agree with that. And you want to do it and you've calculated the risk. And the same thing with house. Same thing with anything. But I have empathy because I was at an RV dealership. I was like, well, maybe I would get this one to change things up. But I remembered my rule that anytime I spend more than $5,000, wait at least 24 to 72 hours. Why? Self-discipline resists the impulse buy. And the salespeople, I probably could have got a good deal because they were ready to strike a deal. RVs now that they're back to depreciating, the RV lots are full of inventory and they got to move them, especially in the summer because they got to clear inventory for the new models of 2024. In the summer is when they start to come out with the new models. They got to clear the old models. So they were like, yo, we want to make a deal with you. Give us a number. And I was like, I would be playing games because I'm not ready to walk off the lot with a new RV. I have to think about this. And they said, well, why? Well, look, to me, I told them I respect money. And I've been in debt. And I've been house poor. I've been car poor. Now, I've always worked. That's why I never went bankrupt. When you're trading stocks or crypto, or you are a creative person, you don't have a W-2 job, bankruptcy, or you're into drugs or you're into gambling, bankruptcy's on the table. Now, any of us could be bankrupt, so I say that with empathy. But these are pitfalls. Why are we talking about this? Because, guys, we're talking about a big financial transaction, whether RV or condo. Don't take it lightly. So respect yourself. Wait 24, 72 hours before you buy a house or a car. Even when I bought a home base in the height of the frenzy, I waited 2 weeks. So let's go to these comments, and then I got some more I want to say about this topic. Thank you again, Backslash, for coming in tonight. He goes, Backslash says, I got my channel up to 1,000 subs. Congratulations. I celebrate your success, and I want you to do well. He goes, in 3 weeks, that's amazing. It took me almost a year to get 1,000 subs. Now you just need the watch hours. I don't know what that is, 4,000. And then you're going to get paid less than minimum wage. But that's why you have a W-2, a main job. Do YouTube on the side, and then maybe also another side job, DoorDash, Uber, Instacart. Thanks for your inspiration all your years. Thank you for a positive attitude, and consistently showing up. And you'll see it with YouTube. YouTube is creative, but if you don't structure it and have some type of routine and flow to your videos, and just like every job, you have to go do overtime in the beginning. You got to really hustle at it. But you can't depend on it. Have a W-2. Why? Because it's a creative hustle. But I wish you success. You can do it, Backslash. You have a positive attitude, structure your creativity, and self-care. Self-care is at the root of everything. Whether you own an RV, condo, YouTube channel, or you work at Walmart. Self-care. Why? If you don't take care of yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, spiritually, every way, what are you doing? Just keeping company with other people who are fucked up? I mean, excuse my language too. And I understand, guys, there's a great need. I've really learned that everyone needs to share. And the biggest thing I learned on YouTube is people really don't want to, some people want to talk about RVs, some people want to talk about condo, but really people just want something to do, something to watch, to distract them, to keep them company. If you show up every day, you talk about the weather. If you engage with people, there'll be an audience. Now, it may not pay your Social Security. It may not pay your medical bills. It may not get you in good financial standing, and don't waste too much time on it. Manage your time. Why? Because I want to tell you guys, structure to your day. I'll never forget my first lesson in time management. It was when I owned a condo. And I was in a community pool. Again, a condo gets you a community with amenities. A RV is a vehicle with no amenities. Okay, it's got basic functions. So I was in my community pool, and there was this wife there, and I knew her husband. And so we were just talking. She was very in shape. And at that time, I was very overweight. And so I would just sit my big ass in the pool and just let the sun hit me 1 month, 2 months out of the year in New Jersey. What a disaster. Now it's every day I'm in the pool in South Florida. But it was July or August, and I was like so happy to be in the community pool in my condo when I lived in New Jersey. And so I was sitting there, and I was talking to this, my friend's wife that I knew. And she was doing laps, and when she would stop a lap, she would talk to me. And she would check her watch periodically, and then she'd do another lap and come back. And then she talked to me the following time, and I said, okay, my time is up here. I got to go to my next thing. And that struck me because I was just sitting my big ass in that pool almost all day. It was the weekend. It was Saturday. I was off work. But I was saying to myself, why would you leave the pool? I had no grasp on time management. Why is that important? Well, a RV will get you out of the house, but a lot of people just sit in their van all day. I see it. They're in the van all day in a parking lot, whether it's in a park or a shopping center, all day. So it's like, to me, that's not RV life. But no disrespect for them. That's their life. Everyone gets to live their life. But I'm sharing to me. I said, damn, do I want to do that? No. So I say, if I don't want to sit in a van all day, why would I get a van? It's cheaper, more efficient, and easier to drive a regular vehicle, and you can use it as a hustle for DoorDash, Uber, Instacart, and you can own an appreciating asset. And that's kind of, again, why I never bought RV before I bought land. You know, when I bought the land, I bought an RV lot. It came with the RV, a stationary one, basically. And I look at a motorized one now, that's what I struggle with. The vehicle gets you to A to B, and then you get out of the vehicle. That's the RV. The RV is a lifestyle that gets you out. You live out of the vehicle. But many people take the condo or house or apartment mindset, and they just, because of maybe financial reasons, they think it's cheaper, and they just live in the RV, in a parking lot or in a campground. Because even the community I own in now, it's like, you know, it's really meant to be out in the beach, in the amenities. It's not really meant to, you know, just sit in your RV. It's a place to park, basically. A condo is better when you're elderly, sick, or you can't be out. But I'm not going to lie to you. I see a lot of middle-aged people and even relatively younger seniors, they just stay in the condo, and maybe they do need to be forced a little bit. Yeah, there's a balance. But what I want to tell you is, it doesn't matter which lifestyle you choose, that's your choice. Time management. Not just with your job, but with your personal life, self-care. Click the thumbs up. You appreciate this video. Share it. Let's go back to these live comments. If I missed a comment, please type it again. I want to thank my members again, Gio, my man Backwoods, and Adam. Thank you. All right, let's go to these comments. Backwoods, a RV. This is him saying what he would like. So he goes, a RV, but not just any RV. I would like a Kimbo or Toyota Tacoma. So I'm guessing you're saying a Toyota Tacoma as your tow vehicle, and then you'd want a travel trailer. Is that what you're saying? Melvano, what's up, bro? Now, Melvano owns a home and a Class B motorhome, a van, basically. See, that's the other thing. Most people who own an RV have a house. So if you have a house and then you choose out of your surplus to buy an RV as an adventure and vacation thing, and you can justify it financially, there's nothing wrong with that. Again, you're basically just saying, I'm choosing to spend some of my net worth in a vehicle. Even if it's not an investment, it's the way I like to vacation, the way I like to travel. It's a lifestyle. But I have a home secured for my future. That's what he did. That's what most people do. He goes, own the smallest house you need and get a small RV for adventures and only pay cash. Yeah, that's a good comment. The only thing I'll say with cash is I agree with that overall, but remember, having cash is more important than being debt-free. Why? Well, think about that, guys. Like, if you have an emergency, do you care that you're debt-free or you have $100,000 in the bank? You could service debt for almost 2 years if you have $100,000 cash and you had if you had $100,000 RV finance for 20 years, you know, I don't know, with a certain amount down, it's probably around $700 to $900 a month payment. I'd rather have that payment than $100,000 cash. Why? I bought time. Now, you have to look at the interest rate and you have to look at your other financial metrics, because that can damage your growth and your net worth in that regard. But so that's not a decision you just say, I want to live on payments, because that's not right. I'm just saying those are things I think about. But I do agree that you need a certain debt to income ratio and you want your net worth in assets to appreciate. Because here's the problem. If you say, I'm going to keep $100,000 in cash and finance a $100,000 RV, cash is going to go down in value based on inflation, at least 3 to 5% average per year. Your vehicle is going down, your RV is going down, a house is going up. You don't have a house, you have cash and an RV. So now in 20 years, when you're 65, your $100,000 is worth $20,000. Your $100,000 RV is worth $10,000, and you have no home base, you have no condo, you have no house. And now that's when it catches up to you. And that's a big difference. RV is short term, condo is long term. Doesn't mean you can't buy the RV. It just means you got to strategize in other ways, because this is a big decision. Okay, good job, Charlie. Where can you buy comfortable shorts in Florida, shorts that look good? Walmart. And you shouldn't need to buy, you should have, 5 pairs of shorts, and that should last you 5 years once you're middle-aged. Why? Once you're middle-aged, you're either married, so you already got the person you want, or you're not married, you ain't going to get married after middle age, or, you're 50 and you got a divorce and you're going to dress up a little bit for one more run till you're 60. But I want to tell you this, guys. Just buy 5 pair of comfortable basketball shorts if you're a man and let it rock. Now, if you're trying to date, you're going to need to come better than that. If you ain't trying to date, and that's the other thing with RV and condo. If you're dating, obviously you want a condo. I could tell you from my experience. If you're not dating, obviously you probably rather RV. Why? You don't need that much room. I can tell you from my experience. So, for me, sometimes having too many rooms could be a liability. Why? People, that room looks good. But all I would tell you is this. That's your personal choice. All right, click that thumbs up. You appreciate these videos, guys. Backwoods. Or get a Sprinter RV and some kind of small built-out RV. It's an interesting comment. One, Sprinters, they're usually diesel. They're Mercedes. They're diesel. So a diesel engine will get you better gas mileage, but it costs more per gallon. It'll last longer, but it's going to cost more maintenance. One thing I learned owning luxury vehicles, I had a Jaguar, an Acura, and a Range Rover, is getting oil changed, getting them serviced. You don't just go to Jiffy Lube. You got to go usually to the dealership or a higher end mechanic, and it's more complex, it's more costly. So if you do get an RV, keep it simple, unless you just got extra money to blow and you don't care and you want the luxury. I respect it. Everyone spend their money how they want, but I can tell you from my experience in owning luxury vehicles, and a Sprinter van is not just like an RV. I mean, it's a luxury vehicle. You're going to have more maintenance. You're going to have more upkeep. Why? It's like dating a beautiful person, man or woman. They're high maintenance. I don't care how you cut it. Why? Hey, guys, you don't just, stay, when you're that hot, a lot of maintenance. If you're butt ugly, it's like driving a beat-up Dodge ProMaster. I ain't lying about that. Click that thumbs up, guys. Backwoods. Lovely pouring out rain, brother. I want to tell you, it was sunny most of the day. Now it's a tropical rainstorm at night. I love South Florida. Good to see you, Backwoods. And again, thank you for everything. / Choose the one that goes up. Yes, regarding condo or RV, it's again, it's asset allocation question. Good job. Everyone's different. Time hop. Beach condo for the win. Yes, good comment. Now just remember, beach condo is going to be more money than an RV lot or RV, so you may have to come a little bit inland. But I will say this, it's a good point you bring up. If you don't get an RV and you just have one house, then you have more concentrated money than maybe you can afford a beach condo. See, remember, if you buy 2 houses or if you have a house and an RV, if you add that money together that you spent, you could probably buy a condo on the beach. So that's another thing that you got to think about, right? You could have 2 small shacks. One, if you're a snowbird, you could have a shack up north and an RV lot in Florida. Or you could have one luxury place in one spot and just, spend 90% of your time there and just travel out of a vehicle and stay in a car. Or just camp in a car. I look at that option because, that's something to think about. Good comment. Thank you, Time Hop. Condo paid for, no car payment, biggie. If your condo is paid for, no car payment, yeah, it's a go. I mean, the thing with a condo, if it's paid off, it's a financial tool. It's a financial tool. What does that mean? Well, you can refinance and take cash out. You can do a reverse mortgage. And it's easier to sell, per se, because a lot of people can get a 30 mortgage. Older RV, not a couple years old, because they're still pretty liquid. They hold their value okay. Maybe a Class B. A Class A, a travel trailer, is a little bit tough to resell now. There's not too many people looking to buy used RVs now. There's always going to be more buyers for a condo than a used RV. Why? Most people have a family and they want to live stationary, not mobile. Excuse the rain, guys. Backwoods. You're supposed to take your RV to cool spots, then you get out of the vehicle and enjoy life. That's right. With an RV, you live out of it. With a condo, you live in it. Like right now, I'm out in the conditions. But I'm in a car that I lived out of for 5 years. I used to like an RV. It was the car I had when I owned a condo. And that allowed me to save money, buy a lot of land, and, have more options. Because I figured, well, if I'm going to just be living out of the vehicle, what would be the difference now? Like right now, I'm in a 7-year-old vehicle with over 200,000 miles. What would be the difference now, or if I was in a $100,000 brand new Class B? Well, I could stand up in the Class B. Would I stand up when I do a live feed? Maybe. I could turn a light on. I could turn a light on now. I could go to the bathroom. I got a pee jug now. I could cook in it. Do I want to cook in my RV, or do I want to go to Whole Foods? Do I want to cook my own coffee, or do I want to go to Starbucks? See, I figured I actually rather have the cheaper car and just live out of that than the more expensive RV. And that's where now I got it. Now I'm forced to be in here because you spend too much money on RV, you can't afford to go out. So you got to be careful. Thank you, Backwoods. Good comments. Everyone, very good comments. I appreciate them very much. Navano. I see these people in the big Class A's. They're going down in value very quick. I just saw a video about it. Sitting at the campground and drinking. Everyone does their own thing, though. No disrespect. My wife and I zip in and out with the Class B. That's the mobility. And hit all local spots. Yeah, most Class Bs you don't see in campgrounds or RV parks. Why? Because they're kind of like meant to operate almost like a regular vehicle. But they cost more. But if you got a house like you do, Movano, you worked all your life, you got retirement, then, I understand why you want to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Backwards. The Kimbo is a truck camper. Oh, okay, that's what you meant. Thank you for he goes, you put it in the back. Okay. Very well made, created by Nomad. That's interesting. I may have heard of that. That's interesting. Yeah, the truck campers, Backwoods. What's the benefit? Well, the benefit is it has no motor. So you have your regular truck, your Toyota Tacoma. So you could use that. It's pretty fuel efficient. And you can take the truck camper out when you're not using it. That gives you versatility. And if you bought a condo, you can keep that same Toyota Tacoma and park in the condo. See, if you buy a Class B and then you buy a condo, it may not let you park that Class B in the condominium complex. So that's another thing I learned. So, yeah, the truck camper, in that regard, gives you more options. East Coast News, what's up, man? With the current situation with the dollar, is it not better to pay your debt since your dollar is worth more now? If somebody could help me with the question, please, I'm stuck. Well, inflation right now is about 5%. It was at the peak 9%. So that basically means whatever inflation is, if it's 3%, 5%, 9%, let's say it's 5%, which it currently is now. That means if you have $100,000 in the bank, you're losing 5% every year if it's just all in cash. If it's in the S&P index fund, you've made 12% this year. If it's in a bond, you've made 5% this year. You've kept up with inflation. But if it's just in cash, you haven't grown it, it's gone down. The only time cash makes money if there's deflation. Deflation means there's a recession, no one has money, so having cash helps you. Cash is short term to use it for financial stability and emergency, have a certain amount of cash. Use it to acquire something within a short-term period, 12 months, 24 months. But it's not a long-term strategy. The dollar is still the greatest currency in the world. America is still the greatest country in the world, the most opportunity. For the most part, there's other great countries. And if America collapsed, then where else would you go anyway? So why would you invest most of your net worth in crypto or gold? Everyone who's been telling you to prepare for a crash, you've lost money for years listening to them. Because the S&P index over a 5-10 year period has gone up 50%. Houses have gone up 50, 100%. And people in gold, crypto, and cash have lost money. That's the fact, not my opinion. So long term, that's how you got to look at it. And if you bet against that, you're betting that America's going to collapse. And if America collapses, you don't have Google because Google came from America. So what do you have? Why would you want to live in that world? Nothing's going to matter anyway. Not that, again, we want other countries to suffer. I'm just saying this is how you got to rationalize it. Charlie, thanks, Sam. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. Melvano, East Coast. You breathe easier being debt-free. We live in an overly consumer environment. Yeah, it's a balance. Overall, try to be debt-free. I totally agree with that. Have a certain amount of cash reserves for emergency and short-term purchases and have income. All those things in balance and proportion. Angelina Lee, if I'm saying that right. Hello, ugly girls need love too. So do ugly guys. 90% of society is average or ugly. Only 10% are beautiful. So respect everyone. But I'll tell you right now, Angela, if I gave you a short guy that was butt ugly and he had a great personality, you'd probably choose the 6'3" guy that was a little bit more risky and dangerous. Why? Because you're human. So remember that when you want, it's a two-way street. So ugly guys and short guys need love just like ugly girls do. Everyone does. Angelina, it's such a personal choice because it really depends on what you want. That's true. And what you can afford. Just remember, you can always have a home base with a condo. You can get an RV as well later. That's true, but if you get an RV, you may not be able to park it in the condo complex, and then you got to liquidate it or put it in storage. Most RVs live in storage. And now you're paying to keep a depreciating asset that's going down in value. That's a real negative. If you buy a condo and you don't use it, at least long term, it's keeping up with inflation or it's going up in value. That's so again, but it's his personal choice. Totally agree with that. Richard, hello. It is a shame, a must, to go into retirement without debt. Keep that in mind. Well, it's a must to go in retirement with 20 to 30 years in the workforce to build up your Social Security, to have other investments, because if you just depend on Social Security, you're going to be in poverty even if you're debt-free. I saw someone today. They're working a part-time job and they're living off Social Security and they're in their 60s. That's okay now. What are they going to do in their 70s? They may not have debt even though, they bought an expensive car recently, but they're still in poverty. So that's the other thing. You've got to work when you're young and middle-aged, build in retirement, and live below your means. And that's how you get ahead when you're in retirement, not just debt-free. It's a combination. Good job, Charlie. I'm enjoying the rain in the car. Well, I appreciate that. I hope my videos provide some value, whether entertainment, information, or motivation. I don't want to be hurtful. I try to always pull back a little bit. Appreciate you. Backwoods. Yes, exactly, Sam. I love you, Backwoods. The truck camper is so versatile. It's true. You're not too committed. As long as it's, some of these truck campers, like everything, can be expensive, but yep, it's flexible. Also, the Kimbo is one of the lightest truck campers ever created. Well, that's good for fuel efficiency. The other thing I learned with RVs that's been hugely negative is the materials they make are very toxic with off-gassing materials. I've got sick in a couple. I would never buy a travel trailer again. Never. Unless it was one of the ones made by the Amish or you built it out yourself. Why? I'm sensitive to certain materials. And now I'm not saying that a condo can't have mold or bad air quality, because it can too. You can control, though, the environment, the air quality in a condo a little bit more than an RV. But both need attention. Okay, there's no doubt about that. But when the insulation, when the glue, when the upholstery is made of certain materials that off-gas and you're in a small space, that's an RV, you can't really work with that too much to purify the air, even when you have air purifier. If you're in a condo, you could always redo the floors, redo the sheetrock, put an air humidifier, mold mitigation. So, and you're willing to invest a little bit more if you had to do that, because it's going to overall go up in value. That's the give and the take, man. Because don't forget too, an RV after 10, 20 years, you're going to need to either buy a new one or renovate it. It doesn't just stay new. So, that's true too. Backwood Facts. I love you, brother, and I appreciate your positive attitude and you staying with me. Richard, when Roman went down the dark ages, America goes down, fill in blank. I don't think America goes down. I don't think Russia goes down. I think we evolve and we grow and we become a better society. Because where was America? Where was societies 100 years ago? Even other countries, worse place than they are today. Positive people are leaders. Positive people make more money. Negative people who see a negative future aren't productive, don't help society, and aren't successful financially. You have to be a realist, but you have to be a leader. A leader and a productive person sees a better future and is willing to work and push society forward in a healthy way. When you see the future too negative, you're going to live below your potential. You're not going to lead people. You're going to hurt people. And you're just going to end up with a pile of gold or a pile of cash or just a fragile mind. That's not a healthy way to live. I mean, I don't want to live like that. I understand. I have empathy, not judgment. I understand why people feel that way. I don't want to invalidate that feeling, but you got to fight that feeling. Be productive. Look at how far humans have come in hundreds of years. We're way better than we were in the dark ages. And have a hope and a plan and put into action for a better tomorrow. That's all. Angelina, I prefer someone who will be nice to me over height, money, or anything else. Well, there's plenty to choose from then. Why? 90% of society is average looking or ugly. So you got a lot of society to choose from. So just go out there, find the shortest guy who has an average job making $30,000 a year, or he's on Social Security living off that, and he can't afford a condo for you to live in. I know someone right now, that's where they're at. They're 65. They can't afford a condo to rent or own, and the girl doesn't want to live with him. She's living with her daughter. Why? You won't want to live with your man in a 16-foot travel trailer in a rented RV spot when you're in your 60s. You'll want security. You'll want a condo. It's true. Most people will. I love the teardrop trailers like Outback. You will, but not when you're 65 and you got only Social Security. Just remember that. You'll want a condo paid off for with a nice view. Remember that. I love you. East Coast, bless you, brother, and blessings to you. I want to thank you for the comment. I truly want to thank everyone. I appreciate it. I don't want to take people for granted. Thank you. Richard, oh yes, I would say SS, that means Social Security, should be around 50% of your income. Great comment. If you can help it. Again, I recognize certain people, if you're already there, you can't help it, but do what you can. The rest needs to come from a portfolio. Good job, Richard. I hope I'm saying this right. The Great Tribulation wants an RV. Okay, I respect other people's perspective. Richard, do you like the idea of buying a new van and building it yourself? It's a great question. And Ford is actually coming out with the Transit Trail, which is like a raw RV van you build out yourself with no materials, but it's $65,000. A brand new cargo van is $50,000. And after you put the materials, and if you're not hands-on, I don't like doing hands-on work, even though I've done it. To make it look like a $100,000 RV, you got to put at least 20 grand into it. So the only positive is you can use healthy, materials that aren't too chemically blasted. But I do like the idea of that, but I'm not a hands-on person, so I'd probably have to get like the Transit Trail and it'd be basic looking. And then I said to myself, man, I'm going to put 50 or 60 grand in a van for what? So I can stand up. There's value there. But I've already traveled to where I want to travel. I like still driving a regular vehicle, and I do like going up north in the fall. But I could kind of still do that in a car. And I just don't, for me, everyone's different. I respect difference. I asked myself this question. I mean, part of me wants to go van. Believe me, I've been looking, whether RV or build my own. But when I tally it all up, and again, of course, I could finance it, but it's just, it's tough. I'm not saying it's not a possibility, but it's a 100 grand or 50 grand that could be put towards a condo. That could be put towards something else. But if you have that extra, you could do it. Then you just got to visualize yourself doing it. If you buy the motorhome, again, are you going to be sensitive to the materials? If you're not going to be as fuel efficient. Where are you going to park? Remember, RV is just a vehicle. You still have to park somewhere. And I've lived in truck stops, Walmarts, Planet Fitnesses. I've lived it. I have the experience, not the theory. And, nothing wrong with it. But it's just, not where I'm at now. I mean, I'm okay to do it when I need to or when I travel. I don't do the live feeds from the home base because it's an RV lot and I like to keep that privacy. If I got a condo, I probably would. But I'm pretty much just like a campground set. I mean, it's nice, but, the RV and the RV lot is a little bit lack of privacy, but it's premium location and it's ownership and land. But it's a little less private than a condo. I mean, it's a give and a take. So those are my thoughts. Would I build my own? Yeah, again, to build your own van, you should be hands-on. You still have to calculate the cost. Traveling in a van is a little bit inefficient versus a car. So I guess it depends on each person's strategy and their long-term objectives. But either way, guys and girls, I want to thank everyone. I'm going off my phone. I have my laptop up, but it lost connection. I hope I read everyone's comment. I want to thank again Backwoods for being a member. I appreciate you, and thank you, Gio and Adam, my other members. Thank you, everyone who came in tonight. I hope I read your comment. Forgive me if I didn't. I tried to go off my phone. And I thank you for watching. I thank you for your support of my channel in any way. And I'll see you next video. Thank you. Do whatever works for you.